Hi guys, welcome to Adam McKola TV. I am Adam, back with another video for you guys, and we're talking Manchester United, and we're looking ahead to Manchester United against Chelsea on the weekend when the Premier League kicks off for Manchester United, and we've just under 2 weeks left of the summer transfer window. Only Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Daniel James being confirmed as new Manchester United players. We're going to predict the Manchester United 11 that will line up against Chelsea. Yes, you guys are going to get involved as well. Get your predictions in the comments below, and I'm going to give you my opinion on what the 11 will be against Chelsea on that Sunday afternoon when we kick off at Old Trafford in the Premier League. It's always a day that we look forward to, Premier League action returning, and obviously with only a little bit of business done for Manchester United, United fans are beginning to worry now. This is going to test your prediction skills, your optimism, your pessimism, all of that stuff. So make sure you're getting involved in the comments as well. But forget all of that. Let's get stuck into my team right now. And in goal, I'm going with David De Gea. Now, obviously, came into the season, a lot of rumours around his future at Manchester United as well. He hadn't had the best of seasons last season. And this summer, there was rumours, is he going to sign a new contract? Is he not going to sign a new contract? And I feel by the time that game comes around, or, you know, not long after that Chelsea game, we will have David De Gea agreed a new deal, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was the new Manchester United captain. So I do think he'll sign a new deal, and I do think he'll be in between the sticks against Chelsea on that opening weekend at the Premier League fixtures. Next up at right back, now this is a new signing, and it's a signing that we've all been pleased with so far. He's been very impressive in pre-season. In the Asia and Australia tour, he hadn't conceded any goals when he'd been on the pitch, and Manchester United's defence looked pretty solid with him there, making the recovery challenges. Aaron Wan-Bissaka for me at right back will be starting against Chelsea, touch wood. Then, at the heart of the defence, I've gone with Victor Lindelof. He's seemingly the only reliable centre-half for Manchester United at the moment, although every time he does go down with a little bit of a knock or a twist, I do hold my breath and get a little bit worried. It's the same with Eric Bailly. He's not had the best of luck with injuries. Form-wise, he's obviously improved as his career at Manchester United has gone on, and he's looked tidy in pre-season as well. I know pre-season isn't the best marker to go by, but he can only play with what's in front of him, and he's looked pretty good for Manchester United. So fingers crossed again, no injuries for Victor Lindelof, but he should be there at the heart of the defence. And it was the question mark over who goes in alongside him. Now, if we go with what we've got, I'd say Axel Tuanzebe. Now, there's question marks over whether he leaves United on a loan deal to Aston Villa. And to be fair, if United can't promise him football this season in the first team, then it's best to let him go. Although personally, in terms of talent and stuff, I'd say, you know, Lindelof, Tuanzebe, Bailly, they should be in and amongst our best four centre-halves. Do we sign another one? Now, I'm going to go out and say yes, and say Harry Maguire is signed by Manchester United, and he starts that game against Chelsea. Now, I had to mix it up a little bit. I had to predict something. I couldn't just go with all the players that are there. And if we sign someone, I wouldn't be surprised if Maguire was the only little bit of business that we'd done, which wouldn't be enough for me still, but it wouldn't surprise me if we did get that deal done. I know Leicester City haggling over the price, and Manchester United obviously comes with a premium when we're trying to buy players, particularly English players from Premier League clubs. They have no reason to sell. So Harry Maguire's proving difficult, but hopefully we get him over the line. And with him having had a pre-season for Leicester, not having to settle into the league, I think he'd slot in straight into that defence against Chelsea. Let's hope he makes it happen now, otherwise this video is going to look stupid, innit? And then at left back, Luke Shaw obviously seemed to have picked up a little knock during pre-season training, but recovered well from that during the pre-season tour, and he's looked okay in pre-season. Now at left back, we could also use Delo, we can also use Ashley Young. Obviously, we know with Ashley Young, we don't really want to see him starting games anymore. His form wasn't great last season. So Luke Shaw has to be the main man at left back, but he has to really kick on as well this season. Yes, he did well last season. He got Player of the Year and all that, although that for me was even questionable. But Luke Shaw has to kick on now as well. The whole Manchester United team does, and we need to see some improvement from Luke Shaw. Yes, last season was good. It was great to see him fit and in the team, but we need to see him improve now with the rest of the team. It's not a dig at Luke Shaw. The whole team needs to. But same goes for him, and I do think he'll be starting in that defence against Chelsea. Now in midfield, interesting one. Nemanja Matic for me hasn't looked great for Manchester United in pre-season. It's looking like the style of play we're playing with under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is meaning that Nemanja Matic probably isn't, suited to that. He's not getting any younger, he's not getting any quicker. And yes, he may be suited to some games for us, but he shouldn't be starting many more games. Now that shows we've got an incredible lack of depth and quality in midfield. Fred, question marks over him. Scott McTominay, he'd proven me wrong a lot, and I'd say Scott McTominay is probably the one that I expect to be seeing start in the midfield against Chelsea. He's the most settled. He's the most, he's shown a decent bit of form, and he's showing an eagerness and a willingness to play for Manchester United. He covers a lot of grass. He allows the likes of Pogba to play on and play further up the field. And with Matic not looking great for Manchester United, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer go with Scott McTominay alongside Paul Pogba in that midfield. Paul Pogba is probably our only certainty in midfield. Yes, he's had his inconsistencies as well, no doubt about it, and he needs to be consistent for Manchester United this season. If Pogba's consistent, the likes of Rashford, Martial, etc. will have a good season this season, and Pogba needs to be leading that from the midfield for Manchester United. Of course, though, there's the question marks over him again. Talk about Real Madrid, talk about Juventus. Now, we've kind of palmed them away this summer, and we've not heard much else in regards to Paul Pogba leaving. Of course, you get the occasional stories from Italy and Spain, but nothing concrete since Raiola was running his mouth. And Pogba's got his head down and got on with it. So it gives me the confidence that he should still be here and be a Manchester United player when we take to the field against Chelsea. Although stranger things have happened, and again, I could be setting myself up for a fall. Now, who plays in the three in behind the striker? This is an interesting one because obviously we have played a 4-2-3-1 more often than not in pre-season, so it's looking likely that we'll go with that again unless we make some key signings which can change the way that we play. And you look at who's going to play in that number 9 position. Is Lukaku going to be an Inter Milan or Juventus player by the time we take the field against Chelsea? Possibly, it's looking likely. Hasn't taken part with United in pre-season at all, hasn't got any minutes under his belt, and even if the move to Italy falls through, he won't be ready to play against Chelsea, you'd think. So you'd think Rashford or Martial are going to play up top. Who's the other two in that front four? Is Greenwood going to get an opportunity? Are we going to go with Angel Gomez? Is he going to get an opportunity? Then there's of course Mata, Jesse Lingard. Now I am going to go with Juan Mata, Jesse Lingard and Marcus Rashford in behind there. Now I'd like to see Mata more central because that is where he's better. He hasn't got the pace to play out wide. He's not a winger. And maybe Lingard, I don't think Lingard's an out-and-out winger. I think he's better through the middle as well. But with that high press, high intensity, him being able to play a little bit further out wide, maybe interchanging with the others. And Marcus Rashford out there as well. Martial going through the middle. We saw that when we played against Inter Milan. We started off with Martial, Marcus Rashford out wide, and then they were swapping. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that be the case again. So my team, as you can see, David De Gea, Bissaka, Lindelof, new signing in Maguire possibly, Luke Shaw, McTominay, Pogba, Lingard, Mata, Rashford and Anthony Martial. I haven't opted for Mason Greenwood, haven't opted for the new signing of Daniel James, and I haven't gone with any of the other youngsters. That is the team that I have gone with. What do you guys think? Do you think Oli will trust in Mason Greenwood and put him in the starting lineup? He has suggested possibly doing it against Chelsea, but for me I think with Mason Greenwood they're taking it slow with him. He's not even doing media appearances, he's not doing interviews after games. They're keeping his feet on the ground, and yes, he probably could come in and do a dangerous job against Chelsea, but I think they're going to hold him back a little bit, maybe use him from the bench a little bit. Same with Daniel James. The kind of pace that they hold, no defence is going to want to play up against them. And I think at the start of the season at least, we'll see the likes of Mata, we'll see the likes of Lingard starting these games for Manchester United. What are we going to make some new signings? Let's talk about Bruno Fernandes. And for me as well, centre-half is important. We need a centre-half. The only one we've got at the moment that we can kind of rely on is Lindelof, and even then, you know, he has a tendency to get injured. We need a centre-half in there. And then in central midfield, we need one as well. It's incredible the lack of depth we have. Yes, Fred could have a fantastic season. Yes, Pereira's looked good in pre-season. Yes, McTominay showing signs of improvement and looking good. But we've got a serious lack of quality in that midfield area, and we need someone that's going to come in and be starting games. Because at the moment, we've only really got the option to play that 4-2-3-1. We haven't got enough midfielders of the quality required to play in there to be able to play a 4-3-3. At least not in my opinion, unless Pereira or McTominay or someone like that's going to come through and, you know, absolutely dominate it, which so far we've seen. Yes, Pereira can have a good pre-season, but he's failed to deliver for the team now. With the way Ollie's playing, you know, could he polish one of these players into an absolute diamond in the rough? Maybe, but we're relying on miracles again from the coach and from the players that we have. And Ollie needs to be backed off the pitch. He needs to be backed in a transfer market. Having only signed Bissaka and Daniel James so far is a little bit of a worry. If we get Maguire and another one or two, you know, a dream would be obviously getting someone like Dybala in the Lukaku deal, but I doubt that's going to happen. If we can get Maguire and another one in, then you're thinking it's a reasonable summer, but you were looking at 4 being the minimum, and so far we'd be lucky to get 4 players in with 2 weeks remaining, less than 2 weeks remaining. So that's my predicted 11 for the game against Chelsea. Let us know what your guys' predicted 11s is in the comments below. Are you more optimistic? Are you more pessimistic? Get your comments in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing as well. Plenty more content coming your way here on Adam McKola TV. For now, I'm out of here.